What's up everyone on YouTube? So I'm looking at the Bitcoin weekly chart, and yesterday we closed the weekly candle in the red, and this came after a green weekly candle the week before where we retested down to these lows down at 49k. However, this is not a candle that really shows much direction at this point. This is a very indecisive candle, and to me Bitcoin is just following the same path that we have seen in the past, in which it's going to just trend slowly up into the election season. Now, historically, if you look back at 2012, 2016, and 2020, you see a similar path play out for Bitcoin, in which in August of 2012, we saw a major crash, but then we moved up and slowly moved up into the election before heading up way higher in 2013. And then if you go to 2016, you see a similar trend once again, a crash in August, and then we moved up into the election, which is around this time right here, and then we moved up in 2017. And then we go to 2020, you see the same thing once again, a crash in August, and then we slowly moved up into 2020, into the election, and then into 2021 we had the run that we all remember. But if you look back, this type of movement we saw both in 2016 and in 2020, and I think at this point this should be the expectation for Bitcoin, where we should see a slow move up into the election before we start to see upward price action afterwards. Now, even if we look back to last year, we saw this same sort of path play out, in which last year we crashed in early August before moving up into October and then breaking out of this box before going on this run late last year, early this year. So looking at a path like this would make the most sense to me, or at least expect something like this to play out, just based on 2012, just based on 2016, just based on 2020, and even based on last year. We kind of saw this sort of path play out. So a path where we slowly moved up into August and September before maybe October or November finally getting out of this range would make sense, at least to me, and especially with the election and just the history. I think it will just play out kind of similar to what we have seen historically. And now the big question is, when will alts start to heat up? And really we'd have to start to look at Ethereum to start. And if you look back to 2020, when Bitcoin broke all-time highs, which happened on this candle right here, Ethereum was around $600. So Ethereum was down 60% overall. But what happened after is Ethereum went from $600 all the way up to about 3,500 or 4,000 very soon after. But this only occurred when Bitcoin was able to clear the 20K all-time highs for good. When it went past it went from 20K up to 30K. It was in the clear. We have not seen that yet with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still trying to get through this 69, 74K area. It's currently at 59K, so it's well below it. So in my opinion, Ethereum, which is currently only down about 45%, is still relatively on track. It's actually ahead, because last cycle it was down 60% when Bitcoin cleared all-time highs. It's only down 45%. So while it has been frustrating, this is not something out of the norm. Alts have historically gone up after Bitcoin cleared all-time highs. So even what we saw last year with AVAX going up, with Solana going up, with memes going up, with AI going up, that's something we didn't even see in previous cycles. In 2020, we only saw really a few DeFi coins go up. It was called DeFi Summer, if people remember. And then there was Chainlink. And then outside of that, there was nothing else that really went up. Coins like BNB, Cardano, Ethereum, the list goes on, did not see any upward price action until Bitcoin cleared all-time highs. So I think we actually kind of got ahead of ourselves and kind of got a gift, an early gift, I guess, where there was some upside. We didn't see that really in 2020. And a lot of it has retracted. A lot of it has pulled back most of the gains that we saw for that upside. But I don't think that was the actual alt run. And I think it was kind of just the market getting ahead of itself right there. Personally, my best advice would just be patient right now. I think the market needs to get through this election cycle. I think we're just kind of stuck in this election period where we just don't see much until after the election. And I think with the election implications, I think it's just kind of focusing and being centered on that currently. And I do think that regardless of who wins, I do think that the market will still see upside, because we do have the Bitcoin ETF products. We still have the Ethereum ETF products. So there is ways for capital to enter this market. While it would definitely benefit if the SEC was overhauled and Gary Gensler was fired, I do think that regardless of that, the market can still see upside, as we saw last year with even Gary Gensler still sitting there. We did see that sort of mini run, so maybe we would get something maybe like that once again. But I do think that we will see upside, and I just think the market right now is just kind of waiting for more clarity, more resolution, and just to know what the future will hold overall for this market. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel, so there probably will be more content coming, more so on YouTube than Twitter, but I appreciate all the support.